Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much to everyone that's jumping on the channel and hitting the subscribe button. The channel's blowing up. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to talk about unemployment. We're going to talk about employment. There's a story out of Zero Hedge. It's really important because recession indicators are all around. We know about recession, but people don't realize how big this recession will be. And the reason why is because of the buildup, the money printing that's been going on ever since the Great Recession, the schemes that have changed, the lies that have been perpetrated, for lack of better terms, and they don't really get it too because the bubble's just been so blown up. Stock bubble, real estate bubble, currency bubble, the debt bubble, and it's all coming crashing down. And as many people would like to think that their job is safe during a recession, it really isn't. So many people get slapped every 7 to 10 years with layoffs, or their sales are severely affected. And we're going to go over this story, and I think it's really important because as the government's lying to you and telling you employment's going up when they're really destroying full-time jobs and building up part-time jobs, making people more slaves. And then you get lied to about the CPI, the inflation index, and you're told that your insurance costs went down like 30%. No, they didn't. Once you see these lies, you keep seeing these lies, it gets that much more exciting because you know that you're right around the corner from an implosion. And as they talk about soft landings, there's never a soft landing. When we're talking about a bubble this big, there's never been a soft landing. And when companies start to lay off, they tend to lay off all at once, especially in sectors where they look at their other counterparts, their competitors, and they go, hey, wait a minute, they can pull it off. And look, their stock rallied. Let's do it. Look at Home Depot stock just rallied the other day, 6%, when they came out and said people are spending less money. And they're revising numbers and things aren't looking good. And they're using the exact same nomenclature, the same wording as what they did in 2006. So check this out. Employment is sending signals. This is out of Zero Hedge. Recession or normalization? That's their question. In February 2023, we wrote Janet Yellen should focus on hope. The article walks through Michael Kantowitz's HOPE model. HOPE stands for housing, new orders, corporate profits, and employment. So they're looking at different things. Orders from factories, housing, corporate profits, and employment, providing a handy acronym to track parts of the economy that are interest rate sensitive and tend to be a leading recession indicator. They said, as they wrote in the article in the past, these sectors often serve as leading economic indicators as interest rates dampen economic activity in interest rate sensitive sectors. Other sectors and facets of the economy begin to feel the impact of higher rates. HOPE illustrates the various lags or the time it takes for rate hikes to affect economic activity fully. It's so very important for people to understand. When rates start coming up, it takes so many months, even sometimes years, for it to hit a certain segment of economies. And some parts of an economy are more sensitive than others. I'll give you one example, the mortgage industry, right? As interest rates go up, people feel the pinch, because especially in low rate environments. I'll give you an example. Let's say rates go up 1 point, right? Well, 1 point, when you are dealing with a 3% mortgage rate environment, going from 3 to 4 is massive on a percentage scale, as opposed to when you're in a 7% market and it goes from 7 to 8. When the market's used to 7% and it goes to 8, okay, that sucks, but it's nowhere near the difference on a percentage basis from when everyone's used to a 3% mortgage, right? So you see, you have to understand these bubbles were all built on 0 to sometimes negative interest rates. We're talking about baseline rates, right? So people and corporate profits were, people's wealth and corporate profits were built on almost free money. So all of this is about, it's going away right now. And I want people to understand, when you go look at the Fed funds rate, normal rates are between 5 and 6% for the Fed funds rate anytime before the dot-com bust. And I know people think that for some reason they keep them low forever. They can't, because eventually other countries come calling and go, we're not going to loan you any more money at these crappy rates. The only reason other countries were loaning us money for the last 20-something years, 23 years, was because of the perceived intrinsic value or the security, the safety of that currency. That's now gone, right? We've got a president that is nuts. And the whole world knows it. As a matter of fact, look at what just happened. I can't even say it or this channel's going to get in trouble. But the Chinese leader just met our leader somewhere in California, trying to be careful. And the guy, as they part ways, he goes and insults him on camera. You know, look, I think the guy that ran the other country got on the plane and went, yep, pretty sure I know what we're going to do next. This is insane to me. So, sorry, let's go on to the story. Type 1 if you agree. This is insanity in its finest moment right now. Over the last year, many H and O and P measures indicate a recession is likely. E, employment, has been the lone holdout. However, there are recent signs employment trends are starting to change. Given the rising unemployment may be the straw that breaks the back of the economic recovery, let's look at some leading employment indicators to see what they indicate. If a recession is on the horizon, these employment indicators should provide a warning. However, as you look at our graphs and read our commentary, consider that weakening labor statistics may reflect the normalization of labor conditions and not necessarily an imminent recession as they may have in the past. Okay, so let's talk about some different types. Sorry, it's getting bright. Let me get some sunglasses real quick. I can't even read here. You know, it does absolutely blow my mind when people don't focus on employment. All right, this is awkward. Wrong side of the car. Truck. Cool thing, I don't know if you know this, my truck actually identifies as a fuel efficient vehicle. So every time I see a fuel efficient vehicle sign where you can park, my truck gets to park there. It's really cool. I didn't know that it worked both ways. All right, construction employment. The H is for hope. The H in hope is housing. Given the economic significance of new and used home sales and the construction of single family and multifamily homes, we review the housing construction labor market and its prospects. As it is expected, with the mortgage rates near 8%, housing activity has ground to a halt. The only sign of life is from new home sales. Home builders offer buyers mortgage rates 3% or so below current rates to sell homes. Now, just, you know, those aren't fixed for 30 years. Those are teaser rates. People need to understand this. So those people are going to get smacked with reality in a couple of years. And in my area, home building has ceased. There's some spec homes that have been built by builders that have planned them for like a couple of years. But the big construction projects where we had in our local area about 1,000 homes being built, that same construction project halted in 2007. They just fired it up 2 years ago and boom, it's done. They cut the roads. They laid in the sewer pipe. That's it. It's over again. It's just, boy, that builder just can't get it through their mind cycles. They should probably take my course. I just don't get it. But it says, and let me know if your area is slowing down too. The chart, let's see, housing starts. A good leading indicator for housing construction employment peaked in April of 2022 and 1,800 units. Since then, it has fallen by about 30% to 29 to 1,200 units. Multifamily starts topped simultaneously and has decreased 54%. So I'm already seeing construction equipment being sold pretty fast in my area on Facebook, which is a really good indicator that I'm getting ready to start flipping some tractors again. I still got about a year to do that. I can't wait to do that on this channel. But construction companies are selling their equipment off. All right, they're thinning the herd. Temporary workers and the youth are typically the most expendable employees. Further, they often have little allegiance to the company and are financially the cheapest to let go. Further, they usually work in the most economically sensitive sectors. We'll go back here. All right, here we go. Initial and continuing jobless claims. The Department of Labor provides initial and continuing jobless claims data. Unlike the monthly Bureau of Labor Statistics employment report based on corporate and individual surveys, claims data is based on actual state filings by newly unemployed people. Accordingly, the data is more reliable. Further, it is reported weekly, making it timelier. Initial jobless claims are hovering at historically low level. However, continuing claims measuring how long people who previously filed jobless claims remained unemployed reached their highest level in the past 3 months. All right, so this is really important. I was actually filming this portion of the new bear market real estate course. In 2006, we were at near, and when I say near, record lows for the continuing unemployment, the distance between when someone's employed to when they finally get employed, measured in weeks. We were at the lows when compared to the past 10 years, right? So 2006, 2007, and then just a little bit of an uptick in 2008, we were at the lowest time frame for this metric, for continuing, unemployment. Then what happened as the recession was announced, it exploded higher. To give you an idea, and I wish I had the chart with me right now, we are sitting right now at a higher rate of continued unemployment than we were right at 2008. So we have more people unemployed for a longer period of time right now than in 2008. Very important to notice, all right? But again, the magician's got a wand and is doing things to distract Americans from, and they're salting very, very little with extra money, right? Very little. You've seen Biden talking about, there's all this hope out there. It's almost like his predecessor, Obama, talking about hope and change and all this stuff, and we'll see where that led to, right? This is a really interesting time in history where people are being confused. Now, in April, the unemployment rate stood at 3.4%, the lowest in over 50 years. Since then, it has slowly turned higher and standing today at 3.9. I want you to understand the difference between 3.9 and 6 is the end of the world. When unemployment hits like 6%, watch what happens in the media. Big changes happen. Therefore, we need to pay attention, as there have been no instances since 1948 when the unemployment rate rose by 0.5% and the economy was not in a recession or entering one within months. So you see, we're already in recession. We are in a recession, but it's not a technical recession. You know it and I know it because we feel it, we see it, right? People can't afford what they could afford a couple years ago. So they're regressing. Companies are closing their doors. We're seeing more trucking companies close their doors today, claiming bankruptcy, that totally made it through the recession. Some of them are closing their doors. They've been around since darn near the Great Depression. But because the government's changing and tweaking the metrics, like the other day's CPI, that blows me away. That blows me away that someone could read that report with a straight face on CNBC and go, this is awesome. It's going down. Imagine how people are going to feel when they see massive companies claiming bankruptcy and laying off people, and they're still going, oh, we're not in recession. We just changed the definition. This is like, everyone might as well drink Brawndo because we're in a world where, hey, it's got electrolytes. So if it's got electrolytes, it's got to be good for us. So let's just feed it to the plants. That's where we are right now. This is your competition. This is why this will be the greatest real estate crash ever. And I think this is an exciting time to be alive. I'm going to be honest with you. Quite frankly, my mind's spinning right now because I've been in 2006, I was the crazy one. In 2006, I was even crazier. By 2008, nobody wanted to spend time with me, hang out with me. Now, I get the blessing of being able to talk to you or read your comments and read your emails, right? I get to see people coming out of debt, seeing all this stuff. And now we're the coolest group of crazy people on earth because we're going to get rich. We're going to get wealthier than we have ever had because we know that this is the leveling up moment. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. And this opportunity doesn't come around really except for every 50 to 100 years at this level. But recessions happen every 7 to 10. There's always a time to level up. There's always a cycle, right, to take advantage of. With that, I'm happy. But I have to say at the same time, it's still disturbing that there's so many good-hearted people around the world that are going to get walloped by this because they simply just hear or read the headlines and they're not thinking, because they just want to be good people and take care of their family, be good neighbors, and just be left alone in peace. They don't want to be a part of eternal wars. And so that makes me sad, and I don't know where to go. As everything's coming to a head, the other channel, it's in stalemate. This one's blowing up. Praise God. I don't know how to even express my feelings. To say my mind is full is an understatement. But I got a lot more than hope. And it's not in our politicians. It's honestly in you. Thank you for coming along this journey and getting ready for this collapse. Thank you for being prepared and not scared. You know, if we're going to fight a war, I'd rather fight it with a few good-hearted human beings that believe in themselves and their teammates than a million idiots that are sitting around watching episodes of Friends. I mean, I like Friends too, don't get me wrong. But you see my point. Guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you to everyone that hits the subscribe button and shares these videos. Real Estate Ninja is out.